Over the last 10 years of using SharePoint for collaboration, many users have gone beyond the team site and used SharePoint to collaborate around projects. SharePoint 2013 introduces a project site template. This project site template incorporates the basic features of SharePoint: calendars, tasks, and documents, all located in one central location. This allows for project managers and their project team to centrally organize all of their information. SharePoint 2013 adds a few new features: the timeline that is associated with the task list, the project summary and newsfeed web parts that show up on the home page, and these go beyond organizing and into sharing so that teams can capture knowledge directly within the site and know exactly what's going on at all times with the project. Also, like project task lists in SharePoint 2010, the project team site connects directly with Microsoft Project for project managers who need to incorporate deadlines, predecessors, and the resource capabilities that Microsoft Project provides. This is a really powerful tool that responds to how users have actually been using SharePoint in the past and building a template to use in SharePoint 2013. Another site template that allows power users to instantly create a central place for people to collaborate is the Document Center. Here, just like it sounds, it can be used as a central repository or knowledge center based around documents. For a lot of different companies, the Document Center site is just an oversized document library, but it easily replaces file shares so that users can familiarize themselves with sharing documents online. This is where it's great to connect this Document Center to your network and map it as a network drive so the users access it and get the benefits of SharePoint features, without actually knowing exactly where they're going. On top of that, because this is a site, users are still able to combine documents and tasks, workflows, content types, and other great SharePoint features. We'll take a look at these two sites in a second. Solutions in SharePoint 2013 don't need to be created solely by developers. This is a great place for a power user to rapidly be able to step in and create tools for the business to use. I like to call this configuring SharePoint. You're not necessarily developing or a developer, and maybe sometimes I and my peers will refer to ourselves as hackers of information because we make things work within the confines of the infrastructure that SharePoint provides. What we're doing is customizing apps, lists, and libraries. We're adding different columns, we're creating views that provide instant access to information that the users are expressing needs for. We're also able to go beyond just building sites and add pages, just like you would to an internet site, that provide access to specific information at the time that it's needed. With that all said, there are external tools like SharePoint Designer and InfoPath that are closer to development tools, but these again are just additional configurations of the existing SharePoint lists and libraries, pages, and capabilities that can't be done directly through the browser. They're very powerful tools, but it's still within the configuration. Also, a major item about this is these tools are a lot of times used in production because they're not going to cause that many issues. Administrators just plugged their ears and shook their head, but the truth of the matter is SharePoint development can happen in the production environment with the correct governance. Also, remember that a major part is not necessarily a technology, but it's the act of sharing the experience from others. Learning how someone has used this tool to solve a need and sharing that across a broad base of business users is a huge solution in and of itself. You might not really have to build anything different. It might just be a process or a concept that helps drive productivity throughout your organization. Now let's take a look at the new sites that a power user can create and start building the foundation of these solutions. Here we're going to take a look at how to build and create a subsite, specifically the new SharePoint 2013 project site template. You can create a site by going to the Site Contents, either within the drop-down under Settings or the Quick Launch where it says Site Contents. Now you'll see a heading peeking from the bottom of the screen called Subsites underneath all of the apps, lists, and libraries that you have enabled on the site. Here you'll see a new button with the permissions that you have to create a new subsite. Let's go ahead and do that. Now let's review the form to create a new site. First, you create a title. We'll call this Project Template. Description. And now we can create a separate and unique URL. Underneath you can see that there are templates to select from. Here we have two separate tabs, Collaboration or Enterprise. In Collaboration we have the basic team site, the blog site, the project site, and community site. We're going to select the project site. Just to show you here, if we selected Enterprise, we would have the other site template that we're discussing, Document Center, Record Center, Business Intelligence Center, Enterprise Search Center, Basic Search Center, and a Visio Process Repository. These are under the Enterprise tab because they're meant to be used across sites and across your entire organization. We'll go back to Collaboration and pick Project Site Template. You'll see here now that you have different choices of permissions. You can use the same permissions as the parent site or use unique permissions. Which item you choose here depends on your information architecture. A lot of times, project sites actually do have unique permissions. The people within your organization may still be able to view everything, but only a small group of people actually are able to own it and contribute to it. In this case, for demonstrative purposes, we'll keep the permissions the same. Then we have the same items that we've seen when we're modifying lists and libraries. We can change the navigation. We can either display this site on the quick launch of the parent site or not. Because we're using the quick launch mostly as a local navigation, we don't really want to choose this here. And then we have the last question, do we want to use the top link bar from the parent site? And actually, because we're using a global navigation, we do want to use this. So we'll select yes. Now we've completed all of the settings, let's hit create. Now our new project template site has been created. You're viewing the home page, and on the home page you can see that the project summary web part is automatically listed on the home page. The Getting Started toolbar, which is located on any page when you're just starting, a newsfeed, and a standard documents library. First, I'll get rid of the Getting Started. Now you have a much cleaner view of what's happening on the page. The project summary web part is a great new addition to SharePoint 2013. As you can see, it's automatically showing the timeline that you've shown to demonstrate from your task list. Here, it's the whole timeline from start to finish of your project. Think of it most likely as showing the milestones and major items. That way you can keep tabs at all times. Also, what's really great and not demonstrated here is that if you have an up-and-coming task or an expired task, the project summary web part rotates and shows you those specific items so that you know that items are past due. You'll notice that this project template is actually fairly similar to the SharePoint 2010 out-of-the-box team site. It contains a document library, a task list, and a calendar. Let's take a look within site contents and see if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. No announcements, no links list, no discussion board. These lists weren't commonly used across all sites, so this site doesn't start with it. Again, this site template is a great starting place for managing and collaborating on projects. Your project manager can centralize information, all of the team members can discuss what's going on in a newsfeed, and even the task list can be connected to Microsoft Office Project so that you're able to keep a more detailed account of all that is going on and create reports that project is known for. Now that we've seen the project site template, let's take a look at a document center template that I've already created. Here you'll see the home page of the document center. Basically, doesn't look like that much. What it's providing is a central, easy to access location to store not only one set of documents, but a lot of set of documents. Here, there's a simple upload button for users to be able to quickly find and use with the interface. Here we'll quickly upload a document. You'll notice that a Document Center document library already has Checkout Check-in activated. So here, the site is reminding you to enter all of the pieces of metadata and check in the document so that everyone else in your organization can see it. This is important because in a central document center, it allows you to create different content types, apply workflows, and be able to have a small team that is responsible for documents. One thing I want to point out to you here in this document is that it doesn't have a title. It's important to fill out the title because this is what's displayed and utilized during the searching process. Let's check this document in. Now let's take a look at where the document went. Here you can see two documents that I've previously uploaded. One a few minutes ago, and now a few seconds ago. If I had more metadata, you'd be able to see it. We could also apply key filters and do other date and column filtering that's pre-set up within a Document Center library. Another major benefit of SharePoint 2013 is that you're able to sync a specific document library or the entire site. Let me show you quickly what that looks like. Here you'll see the basic File Explorer, and you'll see a little symbol for SharePoint. I've connected this single Document Center document library here so that it's easy to access all of the files. Now, users who are worried about using the web interface, after a few clicks of the button, are able to access their documents just like they used to. However, we know on the back end, as power users or managers of the documents, that SharePoint will take over and do all of the great things that we want it to. Now we've seen the two new project templates that power users have access to when they're able to create sites.